Okay, so for those of you guys today that were in my live stream, you know that I played a little segment of Laura's live stream from I don't know, a day or two ago or a day ago. I'm not really sure exactly when it was, where, she's basically like a flag. Laura just blows with the wind. Whatever, stance she can take, whatever position she can take that will benefit her at the current time is the position that she's going to take. Even though a year prior or 2 years prior, she could have said something completely opposite of what she's currently saying. That's just how it's going to be. Okay? Because she's always trying to prove a point. I don't know. Laura's got some thing where she needs approval from everybody in the world, and she's always trying to be right and prove a point. And so, she'll just take whatever position she could stand on to try to prove her point, even if it completely contradicts something she has said in the past. So anyway, her new position today, and I'm going to play it for you guys. I played it during my live stream, but I want to put this all on one video for you so you can see how much she contradicts herself on these things. Today, her position, or the other day, whenever it was, she's talking about CPS calls. Somebody in her chat basically says that CPS, could traumatize kids. And Laura goes on this whole fucking rant about how, no, it's not traumatizing to kids, and it's just completely opposite of shit she has said in the past. Because, Laura's trying to gain an audience right now. And so she's trying to convince people, because everybody's going around saying, you're a fucking dirty CPS caller. She's trying to now, kind of minimize what she's done in the past. Oh, it's not that bad. It's not traumatizing. So, she's trying to convince her audience that it's really not that bad, to call CPS on people who don't deserve it. So here's her words from just a day or so ago. Oh, but before I play this, I just got to add one more thing. I know one of her people from her chat will see this. I'm sure somebody will watch it, okay? Can one of you guys please, for the love of God, tell her to turn the fucking gain down on her microphone so that we don't have to hear every fucking noise that her mouth makes, please. I mean, it's got to be annoying to somebody in her fucking chat. Just tell her to turn the fucking gain down a notch so we don't have to fucking pick up every little fucking sound that her mouth makes, and her microphone is so fucking loud, it's triggering. Okay, thanks. Here's the clip.
Let me back up because I totally forgot what I was going to say. Oh, CPS. Thank you, D. You just reminded me when you said CP. There were people in Moon's chat this morning that were talking about CPS is not traumatizing. CPS is traumatizing. Blah, 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 blah. And one of the girls said, I thought Laura was nuts when she said it until I asked my daughter who works for CPS, and she agrees with Laura. CPS is not traumatizing.
And so this is where this is all coming from. Some fucking random person who, claims their daughter works for CPS. Their daughter said it's not traumatizing. So that means that, it's not for anybody, right? Ever. Okay.
Kids get spoken to all the time by different people. They just do. So, if you're in the mall, a cop may stop and talk to your child. A store owner is going to talk to your child. A teacher is going to pull your kid aside and talk to your child. There's nothing traumatizing by an adult speaking with a child. How things at home and blah. There's nothing traumatizing about that. Where it becomes traumatizing is when the adult makes it so traumatic.
So this is her new stance. There's nothing traumatizing about an adult talking to a child, right? Police stop children in the mall, apparently, and ask them how their home life is randomly. There's nothing traumatizing about this. Now, according to Laura, this is her new stance.
That, oh my God, they spoke to you, and oh my God this, and oh my God that, and they're going to take you away, and these people are trying to get you away from me. That's dramatic. And traumatic. Dramatic and traumatic. That's both. That's what Brittany does. Exactly. If your child is on the spectrum, it could be more stressful to... Not really, though. I think it's less stressful because they don't care as much. I think it meant less stressful. But there's nothing traumatic about an adult speaking with a child, period. It is traumatizing if they think they're going to get taken away and it's being pushed in their heads and it's taken away and, oh my God, these people on YouTube are trying to get you taken from us. That's traumatic. That's causing that child to, oh my God. That's causing that child to, oh my God, what's happening? Some adult wants to talk to me. They're going to take me. The police are here. The police are going to take me away. Because that's what they hear. When you tell a child, don't worry about it, they're going to ask you 2 questions. They'll be out of the house in 2 minutes.
And just to reiterate what I said earlier today, that is not the case. There's no 2 questions and they're going to be out of here in 2 minutes. They're gone in 2 minutes. No, Laura, that's not how it works. And you fucking know that's not how it works. They sit your fucking kid down. They isolate him in a fucking room. You're not allowed to be there. And they sit there and fucking ask your kid a bunch of fucking uncomfortable questions. That is not how it works. And if it is how it works, then that worker, that CPS worker is not fucking doing their job right. You know, I mean, Laura's just like, yeah, it's like a 2-minute thing. It's no big deal. I mean, no, that's not how it goes. My kid was being questioned for about an hour, Laura, so fuck off with that shit. And I guess Laura thinks we should all just lie to our children, you know, like you shouldn't tell your kids. I mean, really, you have to explain to your kids why these people are at your fucking house asking them weird questions. So, you know, should this Brittany girl, should she not have told her children what CPS is and why they were at the house? You know, it's like, oh, now you're traumatizing by explaining to your kid what the fuck just happened. You're traumatizing them? I mean, are you fucking kidding me, Laura? Give me a break.
Okay, Mom. Bring them in a room. They're done. CPS leaves. What'd they say? Oh, nothing. They asked me if you beat me. They asked this. They asked that. Okay, don't worry about it. Nothing's going to happen. But CPS doesn't question your life.
Okay, and I missed this part today, apparently, while I was live, because I don't recall hearing it or commentating on it, but she's like, oh, they don't question your life. Yeah, they do, dude. I had to sit down with this person, and it, like, they asked me so many fucking questions about my life, about, you know, my kid, do I drink alcohol, all this crazy shit, dude. What do you mean they don't question your life? That's the whole fucking reason they're there, Laura, is to question your fucking life. It's an investigation. I mean, what are you talking about? They don't question your life. Dude, I can't believe the way she's trying to spin this shit.
There's nothing scary about it. CPS workers, especially when talking with a child, they're very nice. They're sweet as pie. They're like, you know, what a beautiful room you have. And did Mom do this? Did Mom do that? Does Dad do this? I don't know. To me, and maybe I'm wrong, but to me, it's all about the parents. If you put fear in your child, then guess what? Fear is going to be instilled in your child.
I mean, this is just the biggest load of horse shit. No pun intended, because, you know, Laura's a horse and all. But I'm just saying, this is the biggest load of fucking horse shit that she's trying to say. She's like, oh, you know, it's not the CPS workers. It's the parents who instill fear in their child. Dude, I was fucking scared because I had never dealt with something like this before, and I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what they were going to do. I didn't know how they were going to fucking, you know, if they were going to take this seriously, how they're going to investigate this, how they're going to prove it. So if I was scared, I'm sure my son was pretty scared too. I mean, stop fucking blaming the parents, Laura. You know whose fault it is? It's a fucking asshole who calls CPS because their feelings are hurt on the fucking internet. That's whose fault it is. Stop blaming the CPS workers, the parents. You know, I mean, give me a fucking break already. I cannot believe she's even trying to sit here and like act like, oh, it's no big deal. You know, just explain to your kids that, you know, nothing's going to happen, because we're going to listen, because I have the clips of Laura after her CPS calls and how traumatizing it was to her, okay? But now, here we are a few years later, and it's no big deal. You know, it's all the parents. If you're going to explain to your kids what CPS is, and, you know, you're the one who's traumatizing them, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Again, Lindsay, my kids weren't traumatized because of CPS. My kids were traumatized because two cops were standing at the door and accused my son of raping his 15-year-old twin sister. That's a little traumatizing. That's not their situation.
Oh, is that so, Laura? But I thought cops questioning your children aren't, it's not traumatizing. An authority figure questioning your child shouldn't be traumatizing, right? Cops stop your children in the mall all the time and ask them questions about their lives. I mean, what's the big deal? We're going to take a look now at exactly what happened. And you tell me if, Laura's just full of shit or what. So let's take a little stroll down memory lane and we're going to see what happened.
My kids, to this day, won't answer the fucking door. If someone's at the door, they say, Mom, someone's here. Unless they know it's their friends. To this fucking day, they will not answer the door. They are traumatized. They're traumatized forever. But we were afraid it was going to go on Phoenix's record. Like the cops said, they weren't going to put anything like that on their record. It was sick. And again, to this day, they will not answer the door. They're freaked out. They're afraid that they're going to open the door. It's going to be cops again or CPS. CPS was called 5 times.
You heard it here, folks. Her kids were traumatized. They can't open doors. They can't open doors to this day. They can't open doors, okay? To this day. This is Laura's stance just a few years ago when she's talking about this shit, that her kids are scared. They're scared they're going to open the door and the cops are going to be there or it's going to be CPS. But if it's not traumatic to them, Laura, why would they be scared? Right? Why would your kids be scared that if they open the door and it's CPS? I mean, it's just an adult questioning them, right? So a few years ago, your kids were traumatized and it was so scary that they couldn't open doors for years, to this day. But now it's it's just an adult, they're just going to ask you 2 questions and they'll be fucking gone, right? Yeah, okay. But this gets better, okay? Because I'm going to really bring you back to the time when Laura fucking taped her child crying, okay, on her panel. And by the way, this clip that I'm about to play, this is what got Laura busted out as a CPS caller because she went live and she made everybody believe that she was so against this. She's like, I'm going to play my own CPS call to show you guys what this does to people. And the people that knew she fucking did it, the people that knew she did it to me, were like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, she's that fucking arrogant, this woman, to think that those people were going to sit there and listen now that they weren't friends anymore. She thought that they were going to sit there and listen to her fucking just lie through her teeth and act like she's some type of victim and they weren't going to fucking say anything. They were just going to sit there and cover up her fucking lies still. She really is that arrogant.
It's so fucked up. Okay. It'll be okay. Don't cry.
It's such a serious issue.
I agree. It's like the sickest allegation ever. I think I know what it is.
I'm literally shaking.
Thank you for doing this to my fucking innocent daughter.
That's a sick allegation.
First it's CPS with drugs and stuff, and now it's this. It's so fucked up.
That's crazy.
You're so cool.
Well,
So whoever called, I hope you're fucking happy.
So this is Laura now exploiting her child crying on a live stream, okay? She recorded it for some reason. Now, I don't remember how long after, CPS left that this occurred, but she didn't turn the fucking phone off and stop recording. She just kept recording her daughter and got her fucking crying. And instead of stopping the recording and just talking to her and actually comforting her, this is what she fucking chose to do. Her daughter sounds really upset. Laura don't sound that upset, but her daughter does. Because this is a money-making opportunity for Laura. And all she saw was, I'm going to record this so I can play it on my live and watch the cash roll in because everybody's going to feel bad for, my poor daughter who's traumatized. Because Laura said multiple times that her kids are traumatized. And in fact, you could actually hear her daughter saying to her during this clip, "You're still recording?"
You're so cool.
It's hard to hear with the dog barking, but she actually asked, "You're still recording?" Because she's probably like, why the fuck are you recording me crying right now? But speaking of crying, Laura herself was crying, and I really think she forgot how upsetting this all was. Okay, let's just say if this was real and somebody actually did call Laura call CPS on Laura, which I do question, because I just went back and listened to this, and I will play her reaction to you, and it's just kind of weird when the cops get there. It's a very strange reaction, but it just doesn't sound very real. But before I do that, let me play Laura and how upset she was when she, exploited her kid and played this on a live stream for everybody to hear.
Let me tell you something. Honestly, I am so hurt for Phoenix over Sage. It's horrible for Sage, but what they did to Phoenix is disgusting. I fucking never did anything like this to anybody. How dare you do this to my fucking kids?
Oh, what's the matter, Laura? Why are you crying? It's just adults questioning your kids, right? It's no big deal. How dare you do this not only to my fucking kid, Laura, but to my husband, too, who had this disgusting allegation made against him. Isn't it funny to hear you now? I never did anything like this to anybody. No, you had this done to you. You knew how upsetting it was, and then you fucking did it to somebody else afterwards. What the fuck is wrong with you? I mean, there's something seriously wrong with her. I don't think she has empathy, obviously, but seeing how upset she supposedly was at the time about this, how do you do that to somebody else? Somebody else's kid. Look how upset you are for your kids, right? And then you go and do this to somebody else's kid who's half the age of your kid that your kids were at the time, because her kids were, I think, around 16. My kid was 8, okay? So how do you go and do that? But I know this is discussed a lot, and I want to believe Laura, but, she's the quintessential boy who cried wolf. It's hard to believe anything that she says. But I know that there's a lot of people that think Laura called on herself. And so while I'm listening to this today, I'm listening to her reaction to things. And I do have to say, she's a little calm and it's a little off. But, I hope and pray that she's not, she didn't lie about this or do this to her own kids, as a way to make money on YouTube. I don't know, but listen to what she says when the police show up at her door.
Now I'm scuffling to fucking hit record video.
Okay, so that's the first thing that I noticed that was really fucking weird, because at this point in time, she says she's scrambling for her phone to record the video. She has no idea why 2 police officers are at her house. For all she knows, they could be knocking on her door to be like, hey, there was, a robbery in the neighborhood, and we're just wondering if you have any camera footage, or there's a kid missing. Have you seen this kid? She has no idea. Why would your first thought when 2 police officers come to your door, why would your first thought be, oh, let me scramble to get my phone out to record this? That's so weird, unless you knew why they were coming, because you're going to see that she has no idea why they're there.
You got paint all on your hands.
Huh? Can I help you?
Yeah, we just need to talk to Sage.
Okay. Now, mind you, I'm dumbfounded. Okay, why are there cops at my door at 12 o'clock in the fucking afternoon asking for my 15-year-old? No idea. I'm dumbfounded.
Okay, so you guys hear it right there. She has no idea why they were at her door. She's like, can I help you? And then in her commentary, she's like, I was dumbfounded. I had no idea they were there. Yet you thought to pick your phone up and start recording them?
Sage! Come here. Can you tell me why?
You got a son at their house?
Yeah?
Okay. We just received a phone call about some kind of incident.
Wait, hold on a minute. Why don't you go back inside for a minute? Let's brief them out.
What kind of incident?
To our knowledge, she has been sexually assaulted.
What?
Possibly.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, they have taken this too far.
I don't know, dude. The what? What? And wow, they've taken this too far. It's just weird to me. Now that I'm listening to it with that thought in my mind, maybe I'm being influenced in some way, because I never really thought this way before, but it just doesn't sound genuine. I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Is this true? To my daughter, she's standing right there what? What do you mean? She's fucking getting, who the fuck said this? Immediately, she goes, wow, they're taking this too far. She's already blaming people on YouTube. What the fuck? Well, I don't know. In all fairness, I guess, because maybe she had the, first CPS call, supposedly. But it's weird. It's just weird. That's all I'm saying.
I'm a YouTuber, and this shit goes on nonstop.
And now all of a sudden I'm molesting my child?
Not you.
Not you.
So I'm the only one that lives here with my kids.
Exactly.
It supposedly happened with the brother did it, not you.
What?
Look, I can't say for sure or not what happened here, you know, whether she would do that. And I really fucking pray to God that she wouldn't do that. But I'm just saying, you know, with that in mind, when you listen to this, you do question some things because you're like, how would you know to start recording? And her reaction just seems off a little bit. But then again, I don't know. You know, I don't know what she's like in a situation like that, I guess. I have heard her kind of play dumb like that before, knowing her when I was friends with her. So when she'd go live and act, you know, kind of surprised about things, I don't know. But you guys could be the judge on that. Anyway, I got a little sidetracked there. The whole point of this video is to show her inconsistencies and how she completely contradicts herself depending on the situation, you know? It's like years ago, you could obviously see, look, if this situation was real and it really happened and somebody really did this to her, fuck that person. But you could, you know, really see that she was traumatized about it. She was upset about it. She was crying about it. And here she is a few years later trying to act like it's no big deal. I mean, you hear her kid crying. You could hear Laura's upset about it. You know, I hope she's not acting. I hope that's genuine upsetness, you know, over the situation and that it really did happen and some, you know, stranger did this to her. But, you know, how could you now, a few years later, forget all of that and act like it's no big deal? Why? Because you're the fucking CPS caller. And just to leave you a little reminder of your own words, Laura, okay, and how aware you were of what something like this would do to somebody's reputation on YouTube, I'm going to leave you with a clip of your own words telling somebody else what this would do to you, how you got caught being a CPS caller in this community.
Marissa, you want to kill your everything you fucking worked for? Go around as a CPS caller. Watch how fast you lose everybody. And anybody that's supporting, and I mean this, anybody that's over there supporting her calling CPS can disconnect from me. Because especially after seeing my 5 fucking calls, stupidly, that's another thing I want to address to Andra, okay? Another one that's fucking clueless because she has no children. CPS, I have nothing to hide, but do you think I need CPS in my fucking life? Do you think if I go for a job that they got to see CPS false calls? 5 of them, no less?
By the way, this has no effect on a job or you getting a job, okay? Laura talked about this more than once. I found another clip where she was like, oh, this is on my son's record, whatever. And something about him going to college. And I'm like, nobody could access that record except for CPS, okay? So it does stay on a record for 10 years at CPS, but nobody else, no jobs or anything like that could access that. I don't even think the police could access that record, okay? It's private and it is under seal, and CPS is the only people that can look at that record and access that record.
It's not a matter of worrying. It's a matter of people fucking look at you and you're not getting a chance to explain it. For you to say that, you want to talk about fucking ignorant? Like, I can work for a police department, but I can't because I got to explain 5 fucking CPS calls.
And by the way, she would have to explain a lot more than 5 CPS calls, okay, if she had to explain. But that wouldn't happen because the police would never Laura would never work for the police. She's a fucking criminal. But anyway, if she had a lot more CPS calls than just the 5 that came from YouTube, okay? She had CPS in and out of her fucking life long before she ever came to YouTube. But here she is lying again and trying to just, make everything more dramatic so that she could, make people feel worse for her. But again, I remind you, it's no big deal now. It's not traumatizing, right?
Not everybody feels the need that they need to fucking explain it. CPS went to my fucking daughter's school. She went to my daughter's school over a fake fucking bullshit. Do you think my daughter's school needed to know about YouTube? Or did you think they just heard that, CPS was here? Or CPS is in the office to talk to you? Like, what the fuck? You don't have any kids, so you don't understand. It's embarrassing and it's pointless, especially when they don't need to be in your fucking life. Ugh.
My, how the tables turn. What a tangled web we weave when we choose to deceive. Laura, I mean, really, isn't it funny how her whole entire outlook on this has changed? You know, how calm she is. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But here she is ranting and raving. Oh, they went to my kid's school. Oh, fuck out of here. Anyway, I lied. This is the last clip that I'm going to leave you with. This is Laura on Jones's panel discussing this whole situation right before she got busted out as a CPS caller. Once again, talking about how horrible it was for her kids.
It hurt kids. My kids would.
Yeah, it hurt Laura's kids.
Were horrified. Horrified.
Yeah, it is traumatizing to the kids. Like, y'all got to be able to separate and compartmentalize. Like, if you hate Laura, then hate Laura. But look at that. Look at what her kids went through with that phone call to CPS.
I was just going to say that Spivey, I know you're still mad that I ignored you and you're never, ever going to get over it. I apologize. But let me also state this. There was no back and forth that ever warranted my children getting accused of sleeping with each other. There was no back and forth with anybody. There was no history that I had with someone that was so horrible that they would do that.
Well, the same could be said for me, Laura. There was nothing I said that was so horrible that warranted you calling up and saying that my husband was doing disgusting things with my kid.
No, there was no back and forth that warranted what happened to my children. And if you play the video a little further, you can see the true impact that it has on a child of 15 years old who was accused of this.
But even
they were
if
heartbroken.
even if she was going back and forth with someone at the time, think about your favorite creator now. And I'm talking to everybody in the chat. Think about your favorite creator and if they have a minor child and they are in a back and forth on YouTube drama thing and someone does this to them, to your favorite creator. There's nothing. No, like I agree with you, Laura. There's no back and forth that any drama could create that this would then be acceptable for anyone at all, period.
And to even bring Phoenix in it. Phoenix was a 15-year-old boy, autistic. Why was he was never on YouTube. He's like, Sage has been on my channel here and there, but he's never been on my channel. Why are you dragging him into this? Are you jealous of him or something? Like, I've never understood it.
And notice that she brings up the fact that, you know, her son's autistic, you know, but here she is now just 2 days ago saying that, no, I don't think, you know, it doesn't affect autistic kids as much because they don't care as much. So it doesn't affect them as much. But here in this, right, she's using it as like, you know, a point for sympathy. Here you go. He's autistic. Like, how could you do this to him? It's just like, dude, make your fucking mind up. For real.
But yeah.
Did it to hurt. I'm guessing the person did it to hurt you. But they don't realize that
it hurt them.
It hurts our kids.
And this conversation is what got her busted out in the first place, because if she never went up on this panel and, you know, played the live on her panel the day before, you know, acting like she's so against this and her kids were so horrified and traumatized and it's so bad and you shouldn't do this and nothing warrants this type of behavior, she never would have gotten busted out. But it's just amazing how her stance has changed now that, you know, she got like maybe 100 or 200 people in her chat that don't know her and don't know any better. She's trying to minimize the effects of what she did. Just in case they hear, you know, she's a CPS caller, she's trying to minimize the effects now that it has on kids. So here it is in one video for everybody to see. Laura, you are a fucking hypocrite.